If you liked this video, hit that subscribe button. We're on our way to 1,000 subscribers, and your single click can help us reach it. Subscribe now and join the journey. The house smelled of cinnamon and pine, the kind of fake warmth that tries to make you believe everything is okay. It had once belonged to my grandparents. After they passed, the paperwork became messy, and eventually, the property ended up in my name. I never made a big announcement. I just kept paying the taxes, the insurance, the upkeep. My parents still called it the family house. I let them. Christmas there had always been chaotic. This year felt rehearsed. My brother, Ethan, stood near the fireplace as my daughter and I walked in. He gave me a look that wasn't surprise, more like mild annoyance. We hadn't come to the last 2 gatherings. I told everyone it was due to work. The truth was simpler. I was tired of being the easy target since my divorce. My daughter, Ava, gripped my hand a little tighter than usual. Ethan raised his glass. "Oh, you made it," he said. I nodded. "It's Christmas," I replied. He offered a thin, calculated smile. "Today's a family celebration. Why bother showing up?" His voice wasn't a whisper. It floated across the room, light but sharp, almost like a joke. A few cousins chuckled automatically. My mother busied herself adjusting the plates on the dining table, pretending she hadn't heard. My father concentrated on slicing cake. Silence can cut deeper than insults. I felt the old reflex kick in, the urge to deflect, to joke back, to smooth things over. That instinct had protected everyone else for years. But then I looked down at Ava. She was staring at the floor. Not confused, not embarrassed, just small, unsettled. Something inside me shifted. I bent slightly so we were eye level. "Okay," I said softly. "We're leaving." I stood, took her hand, and walked to the door. No speech. No slammed exit. Just leaving. Behind us, someone muttered my name. It didn't sound worried, just uncomfortable. Outside, the air was sharp and cold. Ava's shoulders relaxed once the door shut. "Did we do something wrong?" she asked. "No," I said. "Sometimes people say things they shouldn't. That doesn't mean we have to stay and listen." She thought about that as we got into the car. I didn't start the engine immediately. I just sat there, hands on the wheel, letting something settle. Not anger. Not triumph. Just clarity. My phone buzzed. It was Ethan. I let it ring. Then Mom. I ignored the first 3 calls. On the 4th, I answered. "What did you do?" Mom demanded. No hello, no softness. "I left," I said. "The alarm's going off." "Why?" she pressed. "The door's locked. Nobody can get in from the patio." I glanced at the dashboard clock. 7:30 p.m. Of course. When I took ownership of the house, the insurance required a security protocol for events with large guest counts. I'd explained it many times. If I wasn't present as the registered host, the system would automatically lock after a set period unless overridden through the management app. Every year, I stayed late to prevent this. Tonight, I hadn't. "It's automated," I said evenly. "You know that." I could hear murmurs in the background. Someone tried a locked handle. A faint chime sounded through the phone. My father's voice came on. "Can you override it?" "I can," I replied. A pause. "Please don't cancel the party," Mom said, suddenly fragile. "People are here." The word cancel hung in the air as if I'd left with a plan to ruin everything. I hadn't. The property management company's representative called. "Mr. Hayes," the voice said formally, "the system has initiated event closure due to host departure. Do you authorize a temporary override?" There it was, concrete, official, unemotional. "Yes," I said after a moment. "Override for tonight. 4 hours confirmed." I switched back to my parents. "It's handled," I said. "But moving forward, if you're hosting, I'll need a written request. I won't stay late just to satisfy an insurance clause." Silence. Different this time. Then my brother's voice in the background. "Is he fixing it?" Mom whispered closer to the phone. "You didn't have to make a scene," she added. I almost laughed. I didn't. Another pause, heavier this time. We'll talk later, Dad said finally. Okay, I replied and ended the call. Ava watched me closely. Are they mad? Probably, I said. But that doesn't make them right. She nodded, absorbing it. We drove to a small cafe still open. Hot chocolate, no decorations, no audience. My phone stayed quiet after that. Tomorrow might bring explanations, maybe softened words, maybe subtle blame. Families don't change overnight. But something had shifted. 4 years, I'd mistaken access for belonging. I thought keeping the peace meant enduring small humiliations so everyone else could feel comfortable. Tonight, I left instead, not to punish anyone, but to show my daughter that silence doesn't have to be inherited. The house would still be there tomorrow. The lights would come down. The tree would be thrown out. Christmas would pass. What changed was simpler. They now knew that my presence and generosity were choices, not obligations.